So I went and checked out Plane on opening night. And as the name would suggest, it's about a family of woodchucks. It's a CGI movie about a family of woodchucks. And Gerard Butler is the father of this family. And his daughter, the youngest woodchuck, really wants to become a ballerina. Um, I'm, I'm kidding. It's about a dude on a plane. So it stars Gerard Butler. He is the pilot of a plane. He's a really good pilot. He's probably should be flying for like a major airline or making millions of dollars flying celebrities around, but instead he's flying for this small airline in Asia. I think it's based in the Philippines. And we find out the reason why he is flying for such a small airline is because back in the day there was an unruly passenger, and I think the guy was trying to like fight a flight attendant, and he got involved, ended up fighting the guy, putting him in a headlock. So that kind of put a stop to his pilot career. He's got 14 passengers, and the only ones you need to know about, there's just two. It's this air marshal or a police officer who's flying with an inmate, and the inmate is a convicted murderer. So we've also got a crew and a co-pilot. So Brody and his co-pilot are looking over the weather patterns that they're flying into, and they're like, "Oh, there's like a big storm here. Maybe we should fly around it." And then somebody from the airlines comes in and says, "No, we can't waste that fuel. You need to go through it. Just fly above it, and it'll be fine." So they end up flying into the storm, and it's not fine. They end up hitting a lot of turbulence, and the plane ends up getting hit by lightning. So they lose all of their maps and any kind of way to communicate with anyone else. They're just flying without any assistance, flying blind, if you will. There's also a lot of turbulence, like really violent turbulence. And there's two people that end up dying because of the turbulence. One of them is a flight attendant, and the other one is that officer, the air marshal or whatever, who was flying with the inmate. So both of those end up dying in the turbulence, but again, without any instruments and completely in the dark. There's no lights in the plane or anything. But Brody is able to crash land in this field, and it's not even a crash land. He just kind of lands in the field. The plane's not in that bad of shape, but somehow, I guess he's a really good pilot, so he's able to just land in a field. I don't think that would be possible. Like even the wheels, I would think would be broke because it's not a flat surface. I don't know. Anyway, he's a good pilot. So he lands a plane, gets all of the passengers and the crew off, and he's searching the police officer's body, and he finds a gun. So he takes this gun, and he also finds some paperwork about the inmate. And this guy is the inmate right here, and we find out that he is ex-military. So Brody decides that he's probably going to be more help if he's on his side. So he ends up uncuffing him, and the two of them go off into this jungle to find help. And as soon as they are out in the jungle, the inmate he kind of runs off, leaving Brody just out there alone. So Brody heads off into the jungle by himself, and he finds this old abandoned kind of warehouse looking thing, like this right here. Yes, and he is able to like MacGyver this these wires in this. It looks like this has been abandoned for like 30 years or so. But anyway, he's able to rewire some of these things and I guess hotwire the phone, and he's able to call his airline and say, "Hey, this is the pilot that crash landed." And the airline's like, "You know what? This is probably a prank call. We're just gonna hang up on you and don't call us back." And so he's like, "Okay, that was not helpful." So he calls his daughter, and his daughter realizes it's him and it's not like a prank call. So he says, "Hey, can you reach out to the airline and tell them that again, I'm not prank calling. We crash landed, and it's the plane you're looking for. So maybe send help." Now, as he's making this call, he ends up getting attacked, and he gets in this big fight with this guy. Eventually, the prisoner, what is this guy's name here? Lewis, I guess his name was Lewis. He ends up coming back, killing the guy, saving the pilot, saving Brody, and the two end up exploring this abandoned building. As the two of them continue searching this building, they find like like a hostage production studio. Like there's this place where people are supposed to stand, and there's this camera with a tripod already set up, and they find this tape or SD card or whatever that has previous hostage situations, so they know that these people that run this area are not messing around. And the group that runs this, they are separatists. So like the local Philippine government doesn't even mess with this area. They're supposed to be like imposing, but they just kept reminding me. Do you remember like the drug cartel in Tropic Thunder, the one that's ran by little kids? That's Flaming Dragon. That's what this thing kept reminding me of. So while this is going on, the airline is trying to find the plane. And once they get word back from Brody's daughter that it's in this area run by separatists, they're like, okay, well, we can't use police. We can't use any real government agency because it's going to cause like a war. So we're going to have to use these kind of black ops type soldiers to get these people out. So that sets up about half of the movie, and it's good from there. It continues from there, and it's good. It's a pretty straightforward action movie. It's one of those R-rated '90s. I think it's rated R, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. R-rated. And it's also pretty short too, by the way, 1:47, and it goes by really quick. So yeah, it's a callback to those R-rated movies from the '90s. The passenger on the plane at the very beginning kind of reminded me of Con Air, and it's a lot like those kind of movies like that. You got The Rock, Air Force One. I think I'm just saying that one because there was a plane in it, but it's a good callback to those movies from the '90s, and they all seem to have Nicolas Cage in them. Like there was again The Rock and Con Air, Face Off. So it's good. I mean, it's fine. I give it a 3 out of 5. I don't think it's going to be in theaters much longer. It's probably not going to be in theaters past this weekend, to be honest. Just judging by the the audience that was in my theater, and also just kind of the numbers for the box office. I don't think it's going to be around in theaters much longer, but it's probably going to be on demand fairly soon. So if it shows up on Netflix or whatever, it's definitely worth taking a look. So that is my review of Plane, which is just a great name for a movie. Just say say what it is. Next up is going to be Mulholland Drive. My local theater was showing that, and I decided to watch it for the first time. And yeah, that review is going to be next. Not looking forward to that one, but that one should be up here in a little while. And there's also other movies, other reviews going on in this channel somewhere around, I don't know, wherever. If you want to watch those and follow and all that stuff, then do that. Okay, thanks.